Hey guys, so we're on to episode number 2 now. In this episode, I want to talk about why a vocal coach is necessary and some criteria of how to choose a good vocal coach over some of the worst ones. So, why do we need a vocal coach? Now, it's not absolutely necessary, but it can definitely expedite the process of learning how to sing. Um, so, what are the reasons why we can't just grab any at home singing program and, if in a few months, develop our voice into what we want it to be and work from there? Why do we need a coach, somebody to work with us through the process? Why is that necessary? So, the reason why that's necessary is because there's a problem with all at-home singing programs. Now, I'll tell you, for myself, I started with at-home singing programs, and they were definitely helpful. Um, I have basically the gamut of every single at-home singing program there is on the market. I have Singing Success, Mastering Mix. I have Per Bristow's The Singing Zone. I have Raise Your Voice. I have um, Eric Arsenault's A Approach 2.0, and I am also part of his Udemy course. Um, and so, all that aside, all of those programs have one thing in common. They rely on your ability to discern and to imitate the sounds that they're making in the program. And you have to recreate those very, very precisely in order for the exercises to be effective. Now, the main difference between a natural born singer and a singer with little talent is imitation. A natural born singer is able to listen to singers on the radio and singers live and all just singers, and they're able to imitate and to pick up on what they're doing and recreate it in their own voice. Um, whereas, excuse me, whereas untrained singers or not naturally born singers are have a more difficult time with recreating those sounds in their voice. And so that's why you'll have a singer that thinks they sound like a singer on the radio or think that they're doing the same thing that they are, but they're really not in actual fact. And that's because they are not imitating properly. Um, Due to this main difference, that is what the programs, all these at home programs, rely on. They rely on you being able to imitate and reproduce the sounds that the coaches are making on these programs very precisely. Because if you do it incorrectly and you're not precise with your sounds, then you're actually going to be building bad habits that are going to make you backtrack. And so it's going to be this kind of process of 2 steps back, 1 step forward, 2 steps back, 1 step forward, which is what I experienced until I finally found a good vocal coach who was able to help me through the process and expedited it greatly. Um, so, what to look for in a coach? Because we have these problems with the singing programs, I definitely recommend all these singing programs in conjunction with, and some singing programs are obviously better than others, but I would recommend them in conjunction with a vocal coach. If you can afford even one lesson a month, that's going to do you a lot of good over none. And I know that that's the downside, is that they're expensive, but there are a lot of affordable coaches out there that can offer you what you need and not at such a crazy rate, like $300 a lesson, which is just insane. Um, which reminds me, I also have Ken Tamplin's Vocal Academy. Um, so, what to look for in a coach? Number one thing you want to look for in a coach is someone who struggled with their voice. If you get a coach who was born with natural talent and they took a few lessons from some vocal coaches and it helped them improve from there, um, you're not really going to meet eye to eye. They don't know the struggle that you're going through as a singer who starting from zero. I myself literally started from zero talent. Um, I've shown some of my students the before clip before I ever started training, and it's appalling to them. And I don't, I'm not proud of it. I'm proud of where I've come from and where I am today, but yeah, it doesn't sound good. Let's just put it that way. But it's a requirement that the person that you're going to learn from has gone through similar struggles that you have. So for me, any student that I get, I've gone through the hurdles that they're going to go through. I've struggled to develop a mixed voice and struggled to figure out what the heck a mixed voice is. I've struggled to differentiate between falsetto and head voice. I didn't have it given to me on a silver platter by God, as some of these natural born singers have. They just woke up one in the morning and they're able to sing in a mix. I don't have that. I had to work really hard to develop that. So that's number one. Find somebody who is going to have gone through the same struggles that you're going through and you're going to go through until you develop your voice. That's A. B, you want to find a vocal coach who uses a technique that actually makes sense and somebody who knows how to explain the exercises that they're teaching. So I had a number of coaches who would give me these vocal exercises, and they'll just be like, okay, so now you go na 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 na. And I'm like, okay, yeah, great. But what is this doing for my voice? How is that any different than singing in a song? And they didn't really have much to offer me. They're just like, well, you do it, and eventually it's going to help you with your singing. So I'm like, okay, that doesn't really make so much sense. And it got even more difficult to understand when it came to like really weird sounds, like I had a student who came in to see me, and he said that his choir teacher just told everybody in the choir to do the lip bubbles or lip rolls, and didn't explain to them why they're doing it or what they're doing. So everybody was going, which completely defeated the purpose of the lip roll. One of the main purposes of the lip roll is to teach you breath control and give better chord closure and smoothness throughout the voice. So if you're going to do it that way, it's going to completely defeat the purpose. A lip roll should sound like this. A nice clear B tone under the sound. So yeah, that's just one example. The other criteria that you need to find with a vocal coach is that you need them to have been trained in a number of different schools of thought with singing. So if they just take whatever they were given dogmatically and that what they have is correct and everything else is bogus, everything else just leave it to the side, it's kind of ignorant and a little bit what's the word, naive to think that what you have is correct and nothing else makes sense. I myself have been trained classically, been trained with speech level singing. I've been trained with Brett Manning's approach, Eric Arsenault's approach. I've had a really wide array of different training from all different types of coaches. And I gleaned from many of the different approaches what I think made sense and what helped me for my voice. So to have a coach that's able to take from many different approaches and apply it to your voice and your situation through what you're going through is extremely beneficial. Um, so I think that about covers it for what I wanted to go through today. I don't want to make this too long-winded. I know it's already going pretty long, but I hope that helps. And if you guys have any questions, don't be afraid to message me on my YouTube inbox. I'm happy to get messages or leave a comment down below. I'll be happy to answer all of them in a timely fashion. And yeah, so happy singing. I'm not discouraging, disclaimer, I'm not discouraging at-home singing programs. Go for them. And if that's all you can afford, meaning that's really all you can afford, go for it. But if there is the ability and you have the ability to get a coach, I would definitely recommend it because it's going to help expedite the process so like tenfold. So that's it. That's what I'm going to leave you guys with. And yeah, have a great day.